What is the distinction between an excuse and an explanation? I'm about to totally blow your mind here. They're the same thing, with a minor distinction between the two of them. The difference between an explanation and an excuse really boils down to a matter of perception. We live from our perceptions. When we're talking about how an excuse or an explanation would read, say, on a piece of paper, it's going to be the exact same document. The difference is in one case, I'm handing in that document as the rationale for why I wasn't able to make good on an expectation that let's say you or someone had of me. I wasn't able to do what you expected because X, Y, and Z happened. When we're talking about explanations versus excuses, we're getting into a debate about relevance. Was what transpired, whatever that was, that kept you from this expectation, a good enough explanation or not? It's the dog ate my homework is an excuse. It's probably actually just a lie. But is it a good enough rationale or explanation for why your homework isn't done? Kind of depends on how we want to look at it. I suppose you could say an explanation might just be, what happened to the dinosaurs? Well, an asteroid hit and a bunch of other events, and eventually they really struggled to live on this planet. Nobody would say that I'm making excuses for the dinosaurs. Now, as a person who likes explanations of everything, I like to understand as much as I can about the world around me. I'm frequently looking for explanations. But at least the story I tell myself about the person I want to be is I'm much more on the side of finding fault in spite of an explanation. So whatever the thing was that kept me from making good on what was expected of me, I'm a bigger fan of trying to figure out what I could have done differently, what I can own, and that's just because I like to think I have agency. And the moment we let our explanations be the reasons the perfectly legitimate reasons why we can't meet expectations, the more we do that, the more we start putting ourselves into a zone of being victims to the world around us. Things are happening to me. I have no cards to play. There's nothing I can do. As a coach, I would challenge you, as a person who wants to believe that they have agency in this world, to really question those times when excuses seem to come really easily for why you're not able to do what's expected of you. I challenge you to try to grab the wheel with both hands and own as much as you can. We live in a world where it's totally normal to excuse ourselves from meeting expectations. I don't know if that's the best thing for us as individuals. And so as a coach, I'm going to take a look at, the totality of you as a person and what's going on and how often you're opening up a back door for yourself to kind of, not have to be on the hot seat about why you weren't able to do something that somebody expected of you. And I'm going to push you to really think about, what do you own in that situation? The question I like to ask is, what is here? What is present now? Or in that moment, what was present in that moment of what you're telling me about? And what we often find is that there was something. There was a pathway which was available that, for whatever reason, and we don't have to get into why we choose what we choose to do, but for whatever reason, we didn't pick that pathway. When I allow myself to believe that the path I chose, which didn't allow me to deliver on expectations, is a perfectly level-headed excuse as to why I couldn't deliver, then I don't allow myself the opportunity to consider what I might do differently next time. That I could have done this other thing, and given the chance, I can't go back in time, but given the same opportunity going forward, I'm going to pick this other path, or one of these other paths. Very frequently we're talking about there were a few other things I could have done or tried that might have actually rendered a different result. When I give you an explanation that allows me to get off the hot seat and you go, okay, Damon, you know what, buddy, shake it off, no big deal. What reason do I have to bother to try doing something else next time? Because this got me off the hot seat this time. Try the old dog ate my homework technique next time. See if that doesn't work again. So obviously these excuses, as we call them, can get a little bit mimetic, as they say, where the notion of a dog eating your homework is literally a meme now. It's probably one of the first memes that ever existed. But if you're noticing memes in your own life, and that you're frequently allowing the explanations of what took place to be the rationale why you couldn't deliver what was expected of you, then it might be worth taking some time to either reflect with yourself or sit down with your coach and talk to them about what might be going on there.